All right, welcome back to Living Fit's 2 Minute Tuesdays. Hope everyone's had a great start to the week. Let's get straight into this week's question, which comes from Haley, who asks, which modality of training burns the most calories? So, another loaded question. Let's see what we can do. Let's put 2 minutes on the clock, and here we go. All right, so which workout burns the most calories? All right, so if we're talking just during the actual workout itself, then aerobic conditioning is going to give you the biggest caloric burn for the duration of the workout, but it's not as simple as that. If we look at weight training or high intensity interval training, the type of training, especially if done at the right intensities, will create a hormonal cascade or a hormonal storm, which will boost growth hormone in a favorable ratio compared to cortisol. So you'll have a higher growth hormone response with a lower cortisol response relative to growth hormone. Unfortunately, with aerobic conditioning, you will have a higher cortisol output to growth hormone, so the ratio is more skewed in cortisol's favor. Now, this is where it gets interesting. You may burn more calories during your aerobic workout, but that's it. As soon as you stop burning calories relative to the workout, so to speak. Whereas if you're doing weight training or high intensity intervals, because that hormonal cascade is more favorable in growth hormone. Remember, growth hormone is technically it's our fat burning hormone. Because it's skewed in favor of growth hormone over cortisol, you will continue to burn calories for 6, 12, 24, even 36 hours after the workout out as a result of that workout. So that's referred to as exercise post-oxygen consumption, which is also known as EPOC. Now, this becomes very important in terms of, especially when we look at your ability to adapt to a given stimulus. Aerobic conditioning, you can adapt, well, generally nearly with every workout, 4 to 6 workouts of the same variables, shall we say, your body will basically adapt. You'll no longer get any significant benefit. This is why they generally say you have to change your workout every 4 to 6 workouts. Now, of course, once again, this is highly individual. Some people adapt after 2 or 3 workouts. Some take a little bit longer. Every time you do the same workout, your body gets more and more efficient at doing it, meaning you burn less and less calories every time you do it. This is why you have to change your workout. You have to change the stimulus. You have to change the weight. You have to change the distance. You have to change the speed. The changes don't have to be big, but you still have to make changes. In other words, we'll call it shock the body into a new adaptation or a new response. So to come back to the original question, yes, aerobic conditioning or LISS, so steady state cardio, will burn more calories for the duration of the workout. So if I do a 60-minute weight workout versus a 60-minute jog at, let's say a 5-minute K pace, you will burn more calories during the 60 minutes of that exercise, but you will burn significantly more calories from doing the weight training with your EPOC stimulus, so burning calories post-workout as a result of that workout because of the hormonal cascade and having to repair damaged tissues. So which one wins overall? Well, weight training or high intensity intervals, because that gives exactly the same response. But I think the more important question when it comes to this sort of type of training is what really is going to benefit you the most? What are you trying to achieve? Do you need aerobic conditioning as part of your work and sports environment? Or are you better suited to power and speed? Or do you need more lean muscle mass? So once again, the type of training, the training protocol or modality you need to choose is the one that's going to best suit your life. Keep in mind the time factor that's related to training. We do know that people who do aerobic conditioning, to get the same results that they get in week 1, that they get in week 12, they almost had to triple their running distance. Now think about that for a time. No pun intended. Now think about that for a second. You've had to triple your running distance, which means you're tripling the amount of time to train. Now, time can become a huge factor with most people's, shall we say, inability to get a workout done when they need to. The last thing we want to do is complicate a modality or a training regime because time is of the essence. Remember, time is the most valuable commodity. It's the one thing we can't get back. At the end of the day, if someone enjoys cardio and they love doing it, then I will never take that away from them. That's their choice. That's something that they like doing. If they're doing it, awesome. But in terms of return on investment for time, for bang for buck, you get much better results from doing weight training and high intensity intervals. Because we also know there's a direct correlation between hormones, lean muscle mass, and longevity. So to come back to the original question, once again, yes, you will burn more calories for the time period that you're actually training by doing steady state cardio or aerobic conditioning, but you will burn more calories as a result of that, of the training from weight training or high intensity intervals for that extended period of time that happens after the training stimulus. Which one should you choose? The one you're going to do. It is as simple as that, or a mixture. At the end of the day, variety is the spice of life. So keep that little pillar up your sleeve as well. Look, nobody likes doing the same thing over and over and over again. We like to mix things up. The body loves change. So give it something new. So if you're always doing weight training, do some high intensity intervals. If you're always doing weight training and high intensity, do some aerobic conditioning. Maybe the one thing that's stopping you progressing in your training is that mitochondrial density that you get from doing really high reps or aerobic conditioning. Maybe all you do is aerobic conditioning, and so your body can do a lot better from doing high intensities or doing some weight training. Now, touching on a different point, keep in mind that doing aerobic conditioning has almost zero carryover to being better at high intensity intervals and weight training. But doing weight training and high intensity intervals has quite a significant carryover to improving your aerobic conditioning. All right, 2 Minute Tuesday done and dusted. Definitely over 2 minutes this week again. But I hope you got a lot out of this. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you think anyone can benefit from this, please share it with them. And we'll see you next week for 2 Minute Tuesdays. Thank you.